What we're seeing in terms of like our data is families and kids increasingly struggling. Many of them are feeling really disconnected. We're seeing these really rising rates of mental health concerns, including anxiety, depression, trauma, grief, substance use, and really the services and supports available in the community are not keeping up with that need.
We've really embraced a student-centric focus and the holistic child, not just the A to G requirements, but how are they going to become productive members of society, how they're going to be ready for the workforce, how they're going to be ready as good human beings.
It's not enough to say, okay, we know you have a need, now go find it out in the community. In a rural community, that's just not practical. And so I think that's really where schools kind of step in and can fill this gap, and that we are bringing services to the school site, really reducing the interruption to our kids' day and ensuring that kids that probably would not be able to access those services in the community are able to get that right here as a normal part of their school day.
So being completely transparent, I'm a foster youth. I used to go to a different school my freshman year. The place I was at was very turbulent, that's the only way I can describe it, and I needed help. So I reached out to my school and they weren't providing me the support I needed. And it was kind of just, well, that kind of sucks, but nothing we can do for you. So I decided that I needed to transfer my next year, my sophomore year. And my mom was asking me, like, where do you want to go? And I told her Wheatland. I thought it was probably the best place I could go. And I've never regretted it since.
I knew I needed a new change for the new year. The big future I wanted, to go to college, didn't really seem like it was something I could do, but a fresh start would be good for my mental health. The first day I went there a week early to meet the school, to meet some of the staff, and I was greeted by a lady named Miss Van Dyke. She came open arms, biggest smile I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was like, oh, hello, nice to see you too. It was something I was not used to. And she connected me with my counselor, Mr. Diaz, and they told me, oh yeah, I'm the school social worker, I'm here to help you. And they connected me with a program called Safe Harbor, which is a program specifically for students who have turbulent homes, foster youth, former homeless or homeless youth, and refugee students. And it was a breath of fresh air. I'm standing, 18 years old, a place I never thought I would get. I'm graduating in 3 months, and I've got an acceptance of my dream universities because of the little things that they do for me every single day. Not just for me, I don't want to say just me, all the students they encounter. Thank you so much.
If we look at just our students that we qualify in our Safe Harbor program, so we consider those our at-promise youth. If we look at just those subset, the ones that typically are the ones that struggle the most in terms of grades, attendance, behavior, graduation rates, we have seen since starting our program that across all those metrics, we've seen significant improvement. To give it just a kind of an example, we've seen our graduation rates for our Safe Harbor students improve from about 78% to 100% the last 3 years. That's huge when you consider the statewide average for a foster youth graduating high school is right around 66, 67%. What we're taking away from that is that given the right supports, given like a focus on them, we can ensure that our kids are going to be successful. They are just as capable as all of their peers. It's just that they have a lot of life that often gets in the way of that success.
It started really, I think, in my capacity as a board member, you're focused on being inquisitive, asking questions. What can we do better as a school district? And this actually came up through one of our retreats where they said, we've got a big focused issue around mental health. We've got some opportunities to serve a population that's vulnerable. And so what can we do? What programs are out there? And we said, we're willing to hear more. If you can provide some data, we can help drive decision making to make you successful and serve more of that population that's in need. So that's where that Safe Harbor program came from. It's been great over the last couple years. We've got a great member of our team that's driving that, And it's been super successful because of that level of collaboration that we've had, and the person that is in charge of it has a heart for it.
16-year-old me heard that I work at a high school now. 16-year-old me would be laughing. I was not one that liked high school very much. I was a smart kid. I was driven, but the connection piece was absolutely lacking. I was also a kid that had experienced some trauma and was really struggling with my mental health and feeling extremely alone with it. And, thinking about that experience, that has kind of shifted the way that I approach my work now. And I'm thinking, like, how do I make sure that the program that I'm running, the person that I am now, is what I needed when I was 16? And really thinking about what are our kids needing at this point.
I know at my previous school that if I didn't have the support, I would probably be looked at as a student who's like, oh, she doesn't care, she doesn't try. But it's really not that. If you have like loving staff and people who truly care, the support will get through and it'll truly help them, and you will see the change that you can make in someone's life.
When we think of challenges that kids face, academic, mental health, whatever it is, we really need to be thinking in a more holistic way. Our kids who are having mental health needs often have a resource need attached to that. Not all the time. And sometimes that resource need is not always really evident. It's not that like if you have means, suddenly you don't have issues, but often there's these unmet needs that really contribute to kids not being successful. And if we can start to figure out how do we address those things as a collective unit, we are going to have a lot better shot at making sure kids are successful.
These students spend 8 hours a day on this campus, and if they don't have anyone here pushing them or supporting them, and they have no one at home, like what are they living for? Having that person on campus where they spend most of their day is more than a big part of their development, because yes, you have these people at home that you grow up with, obviously, but you have the staff on your school campus who impact you every single day. That's who you learn from, and you can learn from staff in more than one way. So I just think having those people who will support you and care for you here when you don't have it at home is so important, because like I said, I came from a turbulent foster home, and when I found these people on campus, it gave me a reason to try and push myself, and it made me have more drive because there was more than one person on the campus who was supporting me and pushing me to become a better person, and I wanted to make them proud because someone actually wanted me to do something with my life.